Welcome back to the revolution and welcome to Aries season. Raging fire, the sun is about to set. We are here in Denmark and we're here to kick off a new series of videos. So manifestation was the Aries run through the zodiac. And now we're actually moving to Taurus. Not to confuse you, it is Aries season, but we are moving on our journey. So the next phase up is love, feeling, the Taurus stuff. How do the signs react when in love, and how do the different seasons prompt us to make certain decisions? Let's talk about it. So first off, welcome to Aries season. Once again, we're back. You may feel that the tumult of Pisces left you ready to run, but where are we going? What direction are we going in? I feel the Aries fire, but exactly where am I directing it? So the first few days after Pisces season can be a little, okay, let me just get my bearings before I make a bad mistake. Some of us have gone ahead and made the bad mistake already during Pisces season and will probably be paying for it up until September or so, but hey, to each his own. Let's get to the topic at hand. How do the signs react when in love, and how do the different seasons change our behavior? What do we need to look out for? So let's start off with Aries, because I've noticed when I do these videos that I don't think the people whose sign it is get that it's more for everyone else and not them, and maybe that doesn't even make sense. So let's start with you guys first. So Aries. How do Aries react when in love in Aries season? Direct, straightforward, pretty clear on what they want, but also very prone to getting their feelings hurt. Aries seem to feel like when it's their season, everything should go their way, and that includes if they're attracted to somebody. So usually Aries will find somebody to hook up with around their birthday time, but they also want that person to fall in love with them. So if that doesn't necessarily work out that way, they can risk having a pretty, anticlimactic birthday season. So what I would suggest for Aries is not to play the game this month. If you like somebody, really just focus on having a great season and see how much more attractive and magnetic you are by doing so, by doing what you do best, which is focusing on self. And I think every sign has a tendency to focus on self because we are in the season of I am. So what does I am mean as an Aries in love, as an Aries in a relationship? It means that you could be a bit selfish. It means that you might not be paying as much attention to your partner as they need. It means that you may perhaps put other people in a situation that's not necessarily honest, so you can maneuver yourself into a better position emotionally. This is usually when you pass something off to somebody else as their fault, when you know you've done it, but you know that you can forcefully get it over on them. So that can be a flavor of Aries season. So as an Aries, what's my advice to you? If you are romantically linked with anyone right now and you're like, oh, why am I doing the most? Why are you doing the most? Because you have a fire right now and you can't really help it. So my advice to you would be, before you take major steps, cutting people off, getting back together, reaching out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while, letting someone back into your life, moving jobs, switching majors, lending somebody money, before you do anything like this right now, check yourself. Are you going off of how you feel or what you know? Because as a Gemini, I'm always going to advocate that you go with what you know. But right now, if you go with what you feel, you may just be feeling the fire and not really the intuition. So you don't want to mistake one for the other. So just before you make the major decisions, we're still in that, retrograde energy. Just think it through 3 times. If you couldn't risk it 3 times over, don't do it. Good. Okay, moving on. Taurus. Taurus during Aries season, especially in love. So you're a Taurus if you're dealing with a Taurus, if you're in love with a Taurus, or you are the Taurus in the relationship, you may be feeling like, whoa. You know, I've already dealt with all this Pisces crazy emotional energy. I can't do this. I can't now go from that to this fiery, does before they think, speaks before they think, you know, just like shooting off in every direction. I have to kind of rein everything back in. I've been trying to rein everything back in since Pisces season, and now I have to do it even more. I'm getting tired, right? So you may find that your Taurus is feeling a little disconcerted. In general, they have a lot going on, but especially in love, they may feel like they really need to just step back. And it's not because of you. It's nothing personal. It has everything to do with the speed at which stuff is moving. And I know that we say this a lot about them, but you can't stress this enough with Taurus. They just like to think, move, plan slow. So if you have someone who has Mercury in Taurus, they're going to think and plan slowly. If you have someone who has their Sun in Taurus, you have someone who makes their life decisions in a very measured way. That's so measured and so slow that even they may not realize that they're doing it. Good. Gemini during Aries season. That's fire, that's air. That's cardinal fire, that's mutable air. So you have fire you can do anything with. What does Gemini choose to do with it? I have a feeling Gemini chooses not to focus on passion or love at all, but actually refocus on work, because they're finally getting it through their heads that focusing the other way has really not gotten them anywhere. And even when our charm and our mojo is back, I think the insight that we have now is that having lost that and having gotten it back now, I think what we've realized is that it's not the most important part of us. Although, of course, we love to be attractive to the people we are attracted to, I think what we've realized is that it's so, secondary to what all the other things we have going on. So in terms of love, if you're dealing with a Gemini right now, you may feel a little bit ignored. You may feel like they don't have time for you. You may feel like they're doing 10 things at once and you don't understand why it has to be this way. But that may also be just exactly what you need to realize that maybe that's not the relationship for you. Because the only people who will continue consistently now to show up in Gemini's life are people who have decided for the long haul they're there for all the changes and all the leveling up. Because it's becoming obvious to anyone who's around Gemini that the level up is just going to continue. So if you already can't handle the altitude, I think Gemini's figured out that so many people can't. And so we're kind of just already gone. So if you're emotionally tied to one and you feel like they've already gone, yeah, you might be right. You might be right. But that doesn't mean there's not hope. I think when a Gemini takes off that way, especially with that Aries fire underneath them, pushing them, the only way to keep up with them is never to hold on and, hold them down or drag them back, but to become so effervescent yourself that you don't mind the height at which they're flying and you can meet them there, right? Good. Next, Cancer. So Cancer during Aries season can be a little bit difficult. Not that it's been easy for Cancer lately, but Cancer is coming into a time of fruition. Cancer is coming into a time of giving birth to really big things. It's the gestational period right now, and we're getting more and more ready. The thing that will be given birth to is now being created. And so Cancer is already going into this protective mothering mode. So if you have Cancer rising, if you have Cancer sun, if you have Cancer moon, you may be feeling this uncanny urge to nest and you don't really understand why, because there is something that is going to emerge from this: a marriage, a child, a new project, a new venture, a new something that you can grow, something that you can really bring into the future with you and will in a lot of ways define the next few years of your life. It's beginning, the process of forming that thing, whatever it is now. And so this period of fruition is coming. So you feel this Aries energy, and yet there's a part of you that needs to hold back and say, okay, but not yet. And I think Cancer, as frustrating as that is, that's what it is. Not yet. Not yet. Soon. But for now, very important for you to, not let the Aries fire get under your shell. Don't let this cardinal fire smoke you out. Keep mobile. Don't stay in one place too long. Exercise more. Use it to its advantage. Don't use it to accuse your partner and become more paranoid, because Cancers can get that Aries energy going and start to use that very sharp sword in very irresponsible ways, because it's not your sword. You understand? It's not your sword. You've never had to really deal with it, and then once a year you get to deal with it all you want. And so just be careful. Just be careful. You're in the midst of producing something. Don't taint it, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, good. Now, Leo. Leos are going through something very interesting right now, where they are really confronting some big questions just about who they are, about their identity, about life, about who they want to be, about who's down for them, about what they're actually capable and worthy of. There's been a lot of question about what they're worthy of. People in positions of authority have been questioning them. They themselves have begun to question themselves, question their own skill set, their own worth. There are these dips that Leos go through, and this is one of the pitfalls of being, to some extent, ruled by your pride. Because if your pride gets hurt, it can be the fiery response in Aries season can be it can be misdirected. You just want to be careful. You don't want to get Aries fire under your belt, Leo, and start telling people, the truths that you should have told them 6 months ago. It doesn't matter now. Now it's a time to move on and move forward. You don't need to now be focusing on what should have been done right or wrong, or was done wrong, a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 years ago. Like, there's a sense among Leos right now of wanting to circle that fire back around, and I don't think it's going to get you anything. I don't think it's going to get you anywhere, so don't. I would suggest not. So if you're dealing with a Leo, how's this Aries season going to affect them? They might be really snappy, and they might want to make some really quick decisions, and they might want to jump out of things pretty quickly like a cat. So if you don't want that to happen, stay on their good side, or just stay away a little bit and let them recuperate. Good. Next. Let's see. We go from Leo to Virgo. Virgos are going through an interesting time right now, where a lot of them know that what they're doing isn't good for them, but they're doing it anyway, and they're like kind of sticking to it, which is confusing. But, I think that every sign goes through these moments. Like Leo 2 years ago almost went through a period of really wanting to hang on to things that were abusive for them. So, abusive to them. So in the same way, you see Virgo right now, if you know Virgos that you feel are reverting and they're falling back into their old ways, they're falling back into old thought patterns, or you feel like that they come so far in some arena, and now that aspect of their life is beginning to disintegrate again. Virgos are revisiting something, and I think we have to just give them the benefit of the doubt. They're revisiting what they need to, because for some reason there's something there still left to learn. And this revisiting may turn out to be extremely profitable. But if it's done out of a need to understand something, to grow as a person, I feel like it'll do them really well. And that's, I think, always the Virgo intention when they go into things, is the idea of this will make me better. But I also find that a lot of Virgos in Aries season especially will go back into things not because they want the insight or they want to be better, but because they know it's a really sharp weapon. And there's some part of them that feels the need to wound themselves and inflict that pain, even if it's a trick of the mind and they're making themselves believe, no, this is actually what I want. But really, everyone around them is like, oh no, oh no, oh no. Because it's the kind of thing that you can't talk them out of. They've made up their mind. And so Aries season has a tendency to really play on that and really, amp that up in the Virgo personality. So if you're trying to talk a Virgo in or out of something right now, don't. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. They're not going to do it. So let them. If it's a gamble on the past, let them take it. It might turn out wonderful. If it's a gamble on something from the past that or that everyone around them knows is just not, or you, Virgo, personally know is just not good for you, hopefully there's a reason you feel that you need to go back to it. If not, I would say embrace that Aries energy and move forward. Okay. Next, Libra. Well, now Libra, very sought after you are. Libras are going through a good Libra full moon, Aries sun type of, we're very attractive, everybody's feeling us, we're meeting the type of people we want to meet, people we are into or reaching out to us, we're gaining a new level of respect in this aspect or that aspect of our lives, we're branching out, we're excelling at work, we're trying new looks, we're just really happy about the Aries fire. And why shouldn't you be? Your polarity is magnetic and you have so much cardinal energy to work with. Go for it. If you are dealing with a Libra in your life right now and you feel like you just can't get them on the phone, they won't give you the time of day, they aren't giving you a straight answer if they want to be, monogamous with you or exclusive with you or whatever it is, you're not going to get an answer out of them right now. It's hard enough to get an answer out of a Libra as it is, but during Aries season, if a Libra wants to be with you, they will find you in Aries season. If they don't, you will not find them in Aries season. That's the tea. Okay, so now we go from Virgo to Libra to, Scorpio. Okay, so Scorpio during Aries season, oh my. 1, try not to kill anybody, but that's us standing. 2, try not to kill anybody because it's Aries season. 3, try not to kill anybody because your feelings about something are conflicted. Oh boy, does it take a long time for Scorpios to feel all the feelings that they feel. But then it takes even longer for them to discern which feelings are what and should be relegated to whom. So we're in this administrative period where Scorpio really wants to assign feeling, blame, responsibility, and then I'll move forward. However, Aries has a tendency to, exaggerate, be overly passionate, be clingy. And so that energy has a tendency to really work on the Scorpio mind. There's a lot of things you can take from Aries season. Scorpio, in terms of romance, tends to take with it the more aggressive aspects of that Mars energy. So possessiveness, suspicion, wanting to lock things down, wanting to know where you were, things of this nature. And I'm actually not speaking from personal experience. This is like every Scorpio I know, for some reason, and those that are like, that I'm doing readings for, that are reaching out to me, you guys who are DMing me, every Scorpio is going through but that's mine situation, however that's playing out, but that's mine. We could leave it there. That's cool. We'll talk about it in your video. How about that? We'll talk about it in your video. Never mind. Okay, good. Sag. All right, Sag. So Sag is, feeling the energy. Okay, we did our job. We shot the arrow. Yay, it got all the way there. Woo, woo. The Aries fire is lit. You're welcome. Salute. We're off duty. We're resting. I'm bored of resting. I don't want to rest anymore. Let's go do something. What should we do? Let's change our whole life. Let's start something completely new. Let's go somewhere new. Let's be new. Let's take all this Jupiter good luck energy and just make stuff out of it. Let's light some fires just to light them. That is Sag in Aries season. You rested, now you want to light some fires. I suggest you light them. You're not going to have Jupiter in your sign forever. Go for it. Have some fun. Start some new stuff. Take a risk. Get back to work. It's cool. Give yourself a few days to just work all this saline out of our system. But, get back to it. You're good. Capricorn. Okay. Capricorns are dealing with some heavy stuff. Some heavy life changes going on. There's a lot of growth, but also death, but also ending of things, but also really exciting new beginnings. And it feels like every month we're kind of saying that over and over again. And I feel like for a large part of 2019, it will be like that for Capricorn, where there's just so much restructuring going on. There's so much readjusting. There's so much paradigm shifting. And so a lot of Capricorns may have gone into the last astrological new year, having both parents alive, or having one parent alive, or having this many siblings, or having this job, or having this thing. And now we reassess into a new zodiacal cycle, and a lot of Capricorns feel themselves tallying up what they've lost and what they've gained in 2018. And it takes a little bit for that to hit. And I think Aries season is where that really hits Capricorn, where Capricorn sits for a second and goes, wow, that was hard. And so I feel that 2019 will also be a period of restructuring, but also of great emotional rest. And you have to first go through the struggle before you get to the rest. And we're still in that struggle. And yet Capricorn may have already found ingenious ways to acquire that rest. So what would I suggest for you? Continue to reassess. Don't take it personally. And it's hard not to do that in Aries season. Everybody wants to take everything personally in Aries season because, I am. So it's all about everything that's happening is really about me, somehow a reflection or indicative of what is going on with me. And so it's really difficult not to plug into that when it comes to assessing your life and going, okay, well, this is what I've lost and what I've gained in my life in the past year. How is it not about me? Aries season is telling you it's all about you. It's all about you. And it can be really difficult to, wrangle with that energy and say, hold on, maybe this isn't about me. Capricorns have a tendency to blame themselves anyway, or not blame themselves, but let's say take responsibility for more than they should anyway. So you can see how the mix of those two things could be a bit stressful. So you really want to watch out for that. You want to watch out for where you're being just way too hard on yourself, right? Okay. Aquarius. So Aquarius, big changes, right? You're shifting all kinds of stuff around. You're moving, you're buying, you're selling, you're, leaving, you're starting anew, you're having a baby, you just found out you're pregnant. Like, there's just so much going on for Aquarians, sorry. And it's good, right? It's very positive. You deserve to have these new beginnings. You deserve to have these changes. It has been a few years of healing from some stuff that maybe you didn't even realize you were running from. And of course, that's a very Aquarian thing. You may have just spent the past couple of years going, no, I'm fine. And now that you actually are fine, you're like, well, I wasn't fine. I really wasn't fine. How'd I get through that? Because you're an Aquarian, you have that built-in self-preservation mechanism. You do what you need to do to get it done, to move forward, to, at the end of the day, be you. I wonder what that was. But Aquarians have that deep sense of be you. And here comes Aries season with the I am. So if you're dealing with an Aquarius, or you yourself as an Aquarius, are like, why am I being like this in my relationship? Why am I asking for this? Why am I demanding this? Why am I moving things this way? Well, because Aries season is good for you. You are about the self, and Aries is about the self, and the two go together. And you're going through a period of like, no, but it is about me. Yeah, it's been about you, and it's been about this person, but it's my time to be lit now. And I'm all for it, and I'm here for it, and like I'm not going anywhere. And I'm not gonna be the Aquarian, like, nice, please, you go first, because we're all human. Right now it's my time to be lit, and everybody just hold on a second. And Aries will help you with that. Aries will give you the necessary fire, the cardinal fire, to do what you need to do. And you can go for it. Do what you need to do. You're good. You've rested. You're ready. You know what you want. You know what you're looking for. Go for it. Let's see. Then we come to Pisces. So Pisces. Pisces season was difficult. The fact that you guys live like that it's beyond. The amount of strength that one has to have, the amount of malleability, the amount of neural plasticity, the amount of emotional intelligence that one must possess to deal with being as plugged in and tuned in as you are. My goodness. Like, I can say for the collective, we are exhausted. Thank you for doing this all year round. We don't know how you do it. We don't want to know how you do it. Keep it to yourself. We'll see you in a year. That was fun, but not really. Most of us need to get off this roller coaster and throw up. But we're real glad that you love that ride and you love staying on it, because somebody's got to do it, and you seem perfect for the job. So now that your job is over, have some fun. Take a rest, have some fun, go out, have a couple of laughs, meet some people. Your energy is good right now for getting out there and being around people. You may not want to make like the love connection of a lifetime right now, but it may be out there looking for you. And you may find it, and that may come to you, and you may say, I don't really want this. I'm actually looking for this, this, or this. This is your time. Ask for what you want. I think it's a very good time to get what you want. Because you have so much collateral at the moment. You have so much spiritual currency saved up from your season. Spend it well. Emotionally, that means really like in your mind, see what you want. What kind of person is it? What are they wearing? What do they look like? What do they sound like? What do they talk about? What do they, if you're dealing with a Pisces and you just can't figure out if they're still in love with you or not, they are. That doesn't mean anything, though. That doesn't mean they want to be with you. But if you're sincerely wondering after their season if they still like you, they do. They probably still love you, but they probably won't tell you. But they're going through something where they have to realize that love, not that it's not enough, because for a Pisces, love will always be enough. It's not that they have to realize love is not enough. They have to realize that love by itself isn't love. I know that stung. It's true though. And all the Aries are like, yes, you don't need to tell us. It's our season. We know this. Yes, I know you know this. All right, so that is Aries season, all the signs and how they behave in their interpersonal relationships, or how we're calling it, in love. I hope you enjoy this new series. It'll get more and more interesting as the months go on. Aries, it's not that it's not interesting. Aries is very interesting, but when it comes to love, it's pretty straightforward. So, expect a lot of rash texts, a lot of heightened discussion, a lot of impromptu meetings, and maybe a few hurt feelings by the end of the month. Videos start going up tomorrow. I love you all. Welcome to Aries season. It's going to be